It's been a very interesting week this week. We got the release of the character creator for Dragon Age the Veilguard. Go figure. And also we got news about patch 8 for, guess what, Baldur's Gate 3. I want to take a look at both of those right now. You might remember that prior to the release of the game, I thought that Bioware might release the character creator, you know, in the same vein of Dragon's Dogma 2. It might generate more excitement for the game, more people might create their character and say to themselves, okay, well, why don't I just play this character in the game? So that's what I was hoping for. There was some talk that suggested that that was going to happen, but it didn't. So I find it a bit weird now that they've released the character creator. All the hoopla around the game is kind of dying down now, so unless it's an attempt to try and boost interest in the game, perhaps it is that. I found it a bit weird that they decided to go down that route. Now, I've gone over to the Bioware website and, you know, they've got some information about the character creator. You can see there about crafting your personalized rook with all the various options that many of us who are playing the game are already aware of. Now, for those people who haven't decided to drop the cash on the Veilguard, they might find this interesting prior to starting an adventure. I suspect that was the reasoning behind this move. I just don't know if it's necessarily the best one. So I find it a bit strange, but stranger things have happened in the world of gaming. There is no doubt in my mind that one of the best games ever is Baldur's Gate 3. It's been over a year since its release. I have dropped something like over 200 hours in the game before I completed it. It has been a colossal success for the company. Now, they haven't stopped. They've not taken their foot off the gas, so to speak, and they are still pushing updates and lots of other features to this game of the year, game of the decade, best game ever. I'm sure lots of people will agree with that. Now, one very important thing that's happened recently is the announcement of patch 8. Now, I've gone over to the Baldur's Gate website. You can see they've got a summary of some of the things that are coming in patch 8. As it says, like an aged mentor in an inspiring 1980s film montage, we're filled with pride seeing all the mods you've been crafting and using since the release of our official mod tools in September. Mods have been a big part of the success of this game as well, even though it was already successful. But what I find absolutely staggering is the fact that now they're introducing cross-play between platforms, as you can see. PS5 players to PC, to Mac users, to Xbox. Absolutely brilliant, with an interesting screenshot there. They've introduced subclasses, or they're going to introduce subclasses, as you can see. Again, this is in keeping with Dungeons & Dragons anyway. So what they've got on their site is a list of some of the subclasses, some of the skills, and all of this comes with additional animations. So there's essentially a little bit of new content for us to have a play with. And I mean, I won't go through each and every one of these, but I'm sure those of you who've played it before will know about the cleric, the druid, and so on and so forth. We've got the paladin, we've got the fighter. If you're a D&D fan, you'll also know all about this. And again, what I find interesting is that they are still actively supporting this game well over a year after its release. Now, patch 8, I'll just come to the bottom here. Patch 8 also includes photo mode. And we're not just talking about any kind of photo mode. Camera settings you can set. There's a brief animation of how you can do that there. Lens settings. I do love the way that you can pose your characters in any way you want. Just look at that for a screenshot. Scene settings, that's more information about being able to pose the characters. and even post-processing. All of this is absolutely brilliant. They've even included frames. So I am really stoked about this, and I'm getting very tempted to jump back into Baldur's Gate 3. I've done one playthrough. I probably want to do another one, but I might leave it till 2025. Now, the key thing is patch 8 isn't out yet. There are going to be people who are going to be testing patch 8. You can see that they are talking about stress testing of patch 8, and there will be some limited users who are going to have the ability to engage in that stress test and provide feedback to Larian Studios. So all of that is just fantastic news. So there you have it. Lots of news about Dragon Age the Veilguard in terms of the character creator and whether you want to create, customize a new version of Rook without having to purchase the game. And of course, Baldur's Gate 3 patch 8 is coming very soon. I'm really tempted to jump back into BG3, but I know if I do, it's going to consume a massive portion of my life. So 2025, second playthrough of BG3. As always, if you've got any questions, comments or suggestions, just add them below and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.